Hi, I'm Gail and welcome back to lowcarbrecipe.ideas.com. Today we're going to make an actual meal. We're going to have pork chops and we're going to have a vegetable medley. So it's a low-carb vegetable medley with pork chops. So let's get started and I'll show you how to put together. So the first thing we're going to do is I've taken one sweet onion, a small one, and I've sliced it up. So I'm going to add a tablespoon of olive oil to my frying pan, and then I'm going to add my sweet onion, and that's a small one, but looks like a lot in the pan, but my pan's a little smaller than normal. I'm saving my big one to do my vegetables. So we're going to cook them up. I am actually going to transfer all this into my large pan because I'm just not going to have enough room. And one of the seasonings that I do like, habanero is my favorite, but another one that I really enjoy is Low-carbohydrate. It's been around for years. It's seasoned salt. It has no MSG added to it. It's a delicious spice seasoning that you can use, and I really enjoy it with this recipe. Now you can put a lid on, which I have, just to collect some of the moisture, and that keeps it from burning on the bottom also. So I've just turned the burner down just a little bit, and we're going to continue frying up these onions. Now while the onions are cooking, I'm just going to take my spice and put it on both sides of our pork chop. And I am using the same spice as what I did in the onion. There is no carbs in it. It's Low-carbohydrate. And there is absolutely no carbs in it and no MSG. It's a very good spice to be using, and you can find that in any grocery store. I just removed the lid off of the onions. They are transparent, they're flimsy, they are cooked just nicely, and we're just going to leave them in the frying pan. I'm going to add a little bit more oil in the bottom, and we're going to put in our pork chops. And I'm just doing 2 pork chops because we each are going to have one for supper. You can do as many pork chops as you like. So the pork chops I'm using are pork loin chops with the bone in them. I find I really enjoy the bone way better than just the ones without. And I don't know what the difference is, but I just get so much more juice, and it's just nicer than the other. So it's been about 3 minutes that I cooked on the one side, and I'm going to cook the other side. These are thinner pork chop. It just depends on what pork chop you're using, but just fry them up until they're cooked. Okay, my pork chops are cooked, and I'm going to take them and I'm going to put them in foil. So we're just going to put them in the foil and keep them nice and hot while we cook up our vegetables. So now we're going to do our medley of vegetables. So I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to put in 2 cloves of garlic. And I have a small red onion that I've chopped up. So I'm going to stir them up and we'll get them cooking. Now I have green beans, a cup, fresh cut green beans that I'm going to put in there because the onions and the green beans are going to take a little longer to cook. So we'll get them started first. Now the beans and the onion have been cooking for a while, so I'm just going to add in a tablespoon of butter. I'm going to put the lid on it for a few minutes just to give it a chance to the steam and stuff will help cook it a little faster. So I've removed the lid, and now I'm going to put a cup of corn in. I know corn is higher in carbs, but it's nice to have corn sometimes, so I've added it into this mixture. And I just used frozen corn this time, Green Giant frozen corn. Look at the colors. It just looks really, really appetizing. And I also have a small zucchini that I've cut up, and we've thrown it in the mixture. Now I'm going to add a little bit of that all-season spice, again, just into this vegetable. I'm not going to put a lot in, just to give it a little extra flavor. And you've got the flavor from cooking the onions and the pork chop in the frying pan in the first place. So all the leftover residue, or whatever you want to call it, from the pork chops and the onion is mixed in with these vegetables also. So I'm just going to cook these a little bit more, and then we're all ready to have our supper. So now that I have my vegetables cooked, I like my beans to be a little crunchy, my zucchini's a little crunchy, just a tad, and that's why you put them in different times so that they're not all cooked at the same. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a tablespoon of parsley and a tablespoon of basil. We're going to stir this up, and I've got the burner shut off, and now we're ready to serve our supper. Okay, so now I'm just going to take 2 scoops of our vegetables, and then we're going to take our pork chop that I have still warm in the foil, throw some onions on top, and then I'm just going to throw some cut up tomatoes on the side, and that'll go with our vegetables because I didn't want to cook them. So that is our low carb medley vegetable with pork chops. Absolutely delicious. So here's my low carb vegetable medley with pork chops. It's very good, guys. I'm sure you're really going to enjoy this. I hope you go to lowcarbrecipe.com, check out this recipe and some of my other recipes. And Facebook, it's Gail's, G-A-Y-L-E-S, Low Carb Recipe Ideas. If you go on there, that would be awesome if you would click like, so that more people can see my recipes. You take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.